It's strange how memories cling to you like shadows, always present, even when you don't want them. I can still remember Mira, every laugh, every tear, every quiet glance we shared. Her name is like a melody I can't forget, a song I didn't know I'd been waiting to hear my entire life. We met on an ordinary evening, a day that should have been just another day, but somehow changed everything. I was walking home, lost in my own thoughts, the streets wet with the evening drizzle when I saw her under a streetlight. She was sitting on the curb, a sketchbook open on her lap, her fingers smeared with paint. The wind played with her hair, and she looked so alive, so content in her little world that I didn't want to interrupt it. I didn't even think, I just spoke. You paint like you are trying to hold on to something before it disappears. She looked up, startled, and smiled. That smile, I swear, it could have stopped the world. It was soft, genuine, and unguarded, like a secret meant only for me. That was how it began. A few words exchanged, and then suddenly I was drawn into her world. We sat there on the curb, talking about everything and nothing. She told me she loved sunsets because they reminded her that endings could be beautiful. I didn't understand fully then, but I would come to understand. After that day, she became a part of my life. At first in small ways, a message here, a coffee there, and then, inevitably, in all ways. She was there in my mornings, in my late night thoughts, in the way I started noticing beauty in things I had always ignored. Her laugh became my favorite sound, her smile, my favorite sight. Her hand in mine felt like home. We were young, but it felt like we had all the time in the world. We shared everything, dreams, fears, silly jokes, quiet silences. She painted, I wrote. She laughed at my terrible singing, and I watched her smile like it was the first light of day. Our love was slow, steady, and perfect in its imperfection. We spent afternoons wandering the streets of her city, drinking tea at tiny cafes, sharing snacks from street vendors, and talking about life as though we have forever. She told me about her childhood, her fears of the world, and her small secret dreams. She painted me once, my face clumsy on her canvas, and laughed when I pretended to be offended. I loved every second of it. Every ordinary day became extraordinary because she was in it. Then came the night that changed everything. She told me she had been sick. Cancer? A word I couldn't comprehend. I stared at her, my chest tightening. But she smiled at me, like she always did.
It's okay.
She said softly.
It's just life.
But it wasn't okay. Nothing was. For months I watched her fight, and I watched her fade. The bright light of her presence dimmed a little every day. She still smiled at me, still joked, but I could see her fear in her eyes. I could see the pain she never admitted. I tried to stay strong for her, for us, but I felt helpless. We spent long nights together in the hospital, her hand in mine. I read to her from books she loved, sang for her, even though I had no talent, and painted alongside her, Sometimes she laughed at my terrible attempts. Sometimes she just held my hand, staring at the ceiling, lost in thought. She never complained, never let the illness take away her spirit. But I could feel it, stealing pieces of her every day. One night, while the rain was falling softly outside, she whispered,
If I don't make it, promise me you'll still watch the sunrise.
I didn't understand at first. Why the sunrise? I asked. She smiled faintly, her eyes shining despite her weakness.
Because that's where I'll be, somewhere between the light and the clouds.
I held her hand tightly and didn't say anything. A week later, she was gone. The day she left, I didn't cry. I couldn't. It felt unreal, like the world had stopped turning. I walked through our favorite streets, now empty and gray, carrying nothing but her memory. The sun rose and set, as if nothing had happened, oblivious to the pain in my heart. Then I found the letter tucked in her sketchbook, the envelope labeled,
For Ian, open this when it rains.
I waited days before opening it. When the rain finally came, I unfolded it with trembling hands. Her handwriting was shaky, but each word held her voice, her love, her essence.
If you're reading this, it means I couldn't keep my promise. I'm sorry. But please, don't remember me as someone who left. Remember me as someone who loved you enough to let go. You made my world brighter. You've made me believe in forever, even if mine was shorter than yours. Don't wait for me in the dark. Wait for me in the light. Because when you see the sunrise, that's me, painting the sky for you.
I cried then, a quiet, deep, hatching cry that shook me to my core. Years have passed, but the memories haven't faded. The rain still brings me back to her. The sunsets still feel like a piece of her soul, lingering in the sky. I see her colors in the morning light, in the way the world looks just after the storm. I live with her in everything I do. Her memory is my compass, her love my anchor. People tell me to move on, to find someone else, to forget. But how do you forget someone who became your entire world? How do you let go? How do you let go of a soul that is still part of yours? Sometimes I sit by the window when it rains and talk to her. I tell her about my day, about the world without her. I tell her I miss her. And sometimes, when the morning light breaks through the clouds, I swear I see her painting the sky for me. That's when I whisper, I'm watching, Mira. I'm still watching. Even now, years later, I carry her with me. She taught me how to see the world differently, how to find beauty and sadness, how to love fully, even when love hurts. And maybe that's what makes her eternal. Not the time we had, but the way she changed me, the way she stays in me. I keep the letter folded on my bedside table. I don't need to read it anymore. I know it by heart. But sometimes I open it just to feel her closer, just to hear her voice in ink and paper. I live with the hope that one day, somewhere beyond this life, I'll see her again. Until then, I keep watching the sunrise, waiting for the colors she promised me. Because That's the only way to keep her alive. In every sunrise, every brush stroke, every heartbeat that remembers. And maybe someday, when I'm old and gray, I'll see her again. Until then, I carry her memory, fragile, beautiful, eternal, like the last letter from the girl who loved me more than anything.